Okay, temperature's 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Mileage on the Bergman, 9204. 9204, let's go for a ride. Okay, Thursday, January 7th, I believe. Mileage on the Bergman, 9204. Let's go for a little spin, get these mirrors out. Okay, this is Polar Bear Challenge ride number 11 for me, and it may be my last one for this season. We're supposed to get temperatures up in the 50s next week here in Canton, Ohio. So I can't say I've had fun this year with my first year with the PBC. I'm glad to have qualified. I actually got more rides in than I thought I would ever get. So did I mention, yeah, this is, I believe, PBC Polar Bear Challenge ride number 11. As far as topics, well, this time of year, for most of us, is, of course, it's tax season, tax time. That means for me to get all my W-2s together and any other income, 1099s, stuff like that, and see my accountant. Many years ago, I used to do my own taxes. I wasn't an accountant in college, but I had taken accounting in college, and I was pretty good at it. I could do most simple taxes, but when I became incorporated in the late 90s, I decided I just needed some help. So a friend of the family, in fact, my accountant is a veteran. He was a Cobra pilot, Cobra helicopter pilot, and I just admire the shit out of those guys. He told me stories of going into being in Nam, taking his Cobra in, and hearing the ping, ping, ping of the Viet Cong hitting his Cobra. So I just admire the hell out of the guy, and he's also very smart. But anyway, I used to this time of year, I didn't mind getting my stuff together and during my taxes because it always meant some kind of refund. Well, I haven't had a refund in years. I guess as you make more money, obviously get into higher tax brackets, and gets to the point where the federal government's eliminating any type of deduction. And one thing that burns my ass is people like myself. You have kids in college. The only thing you can take off on your taxes is interest on loans for college loans. You can't take any expenses as far as cash out of pocket. You can't take off books. Again, only interest. I mean, it sucks. I don't know. It's almost like being penalized. The more successful you try to be, the more money you try to make. They just put you up in a higher tax bracket. I know 2 years ago, my accountant, of course, my wife works. We both work, and together we have a fairly high income. So my accountant, I don't believe it was last year, I think it was the year before, my accountant, my wife and I were there. He said, well, congratulations, I have good news and bad news. And I said, well, what's the good news? He said, well, your wife and I are in the top 1% of wage earners. I said, oh, wow, that's thrilling. And I knew that was going to come with a cost. He said, well, the bad news is you owe $13,000 in taxes between state and federal. Of course, my wife and I my jaw hit the floor. And I know with the state of Ohio, you can't make payments to the state of Ohio. You got to pay them off. Actually, the federal government federal government works with you more than the state does. The state of Ohio, anyway. I mean, you can get on payment plans with the U.S. government. You can't do that with the state. So I had to cough up about $3,800 to the state of Ohio just in a matter of a couple months. And it took me a little while to pay off the federal government. So it's just one thing that burns my ass. I mean, everybody from Barack Obama on down, they push education. That's great, I do too. My wife's a retired teacher. We stress education. Yet they don't give any damn breaks to people putting their kids through college. Bunch of horseshit. And another thing, I pay pretty much top rate on Social Security. Again, just myself, I have a pretty good income. Of course, I won't be able to collect full retirement until I'm 67. Here's what really burns my ass. Since my wife is a retired teacher, she can't collect my Social Security. So I think the government hopes a guy like me, who pays top rate, croaks at 67, so they don't have to pay me anything. So all those literally hundreds of thousands of dollars I pay in Social Security, they'll just keep. I think that would be their hopes in somebody like myself. But yeah, that's another thing that burns me with the government. It's a sore subject with me. I get very irritated. My wife gets upset with me because I'm irritated, but I tend to fly off the deep end. And maybe rightfully so. So anyway, that's just my little beef. This morning, January 7th, 2013. Ending mileage 9230.